people have shut down on having open conversation. Where I can talk to you about your religion, your politics.
I'm gonna disagree with you.
I'm
gonna disagree with you.
Then I definitely want to have this to be a topic.
It's gonna get deep. This is a fortune. You can make fun of me all you want, whatever. I see myself in society. And
Okay.
I think everyone else out in the world is literally just going through the same thing that I'm going through. So all those lights, but we are broke. So what I figured out was if you are broke and you can't afford any of these lights,
Open a
you
window.
can use is you open a damn window.
I feel like I haven't seen you in like a long time.
Yeah. We saw each other like yesterday, bro.
Literally less than 24 hours.
I have a question that I think everyone needs to know. I'm sorry to put you out.
I know
like
your
this.
question. I know your question.
What's my question?
Why do I have a different shirt every damn
Nope.
week, but
Nope.
the same pants?
Nope.
What
No,
is
I have a better question. How come when you go to the bathroom, you don't flush your toilet? How come you want to accumulate all the pee, so then now your toilet looks brown water?
That's easy. That's actually a very easy way for me to stand.
And then you want to flush at the end of the day. So then when you have guests come over and they want to go to the bathroom, they're like, dang, this
one.
person needs to go to a hospital.
Let me answer your question. You have a question? I have an answer for you.
Okay, what's up?
One, are you a guest in my home?
I am.
You're not. We do a
Oh.
podcast together. This home is your home. Actually, no, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're doing it for my
I
comfortability.
apologize. This studio is your studio. Okay?
You left the pee
We have
in
a
there.
state-of-the-art system. Second of all,
Am
when
I
it's
right? Let me get
Huh?
this straight. You left the pee in there so I could be more comfortable.
absolutely. That's one of the ways.
Okay.
Two, you ever see a dog mark his territory?
Oh, you marked the
That's
bathroom.
my spot.
Okay.
You went in there. That's you. That's on you. Guess what? When you went in there, you were like, oh, George was here.
There's pee. There's feces still in the toilet. George must have been
George must have been here.
because obviously he doesn't flush the toilet.
Now you know that's my bathroom. I'm glad, you know what? I would be talking about positivity today. I'm glad we started like this.
Okay, well let's count it down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Learn things that you want to learn.
I got a fun fact for you.
Hope you learned something like that. I hope you not.
I'm an idiot. If you have any questions, don't ask us.
Welcome to the Idiots to Experts podcast. I'm your co-host Justin,
And I'm your co-host, George.
and every week we try to become better humans and learn and cure our ignorance and share it with you guys.
And the first step is remembering to flush the toilet.
It's okay. But, you know, at 45, sometimes people learn old lessons.
How old am I?
52?
Oh, there you go. That's
okay.
more accurate.
My bad.
Before we get into anything, I do want to ask you, because we're going to talk about podcasts. We're going to talk about like how we're improving all this stuff. Slowly, but we're improving.
That's all life is, right?
That's all life
Just
is.
slowly improving.
A little
Make
too
that-
slow.
make that a shirt, man.
Yo, actually, I could make that
Merch?
merch.
Slowly
Slowly
actually,
improving?
wait,
I like that.
mark it down, dude.
I like that actually.
I like that down.
Okay.
Wait, I gotta edit this out. Dang it.
People are gonna see their
We're gonna steal
ideas.
ideas.
I got images too of like.
No, stop talking about
Oh,
it.
you're
bro.
right. You're
We're
right.
trying to
This
sell it.
ain't for the podcast.
Yeah,
This ain't for the podcast.
this ain't. This is for after.
I started a new segment, right?
Okay.
A segment called
What you pointing at me for?
"Educate Yourself." I was hoping that you would come up with a name.
Oh,
I come up
okay.
with a different name every week.
Educate yourself.
Educate yourself.
That's not too bad.
You want me to do that before or after we get into the topic?
You can do it before.
Okay.
Definitely not after.
It goes into my segment. Yeah. I got some news. It's sad news, so that's why I didn't want to open up with it, but I didn't know where else to put it in the podcast.
I don't know if I want sad news.
I can go into like lighter news and then go into sad news. It's like one of those. Do you want good news or bad news first?
When someone asked me that, you know, I think I want the bad news first.
You're crazy.
I think I want the bad news
You're
first.
absolutely. You want the good news first.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
No, because if you get the bad news first, no matter how good the good news is, you're like, it like lessens how good it is.
Right. I want to get the good news out of the way. Let me figure out how to address whatever this bad news is.
It's like starting low and then getting surprised by something amazing versus I'm gonna start something amazing, and then you're gonna kill my buzz immediately with the bad news.
I'm braced, right? The good news backs me up. It's like a tripod, like it's a third leg, propping you up.
All right.
And then when you get told the bad news, anyway, what do you want to start off with? Good news or bad news?
Give me the bad news.
All right, bad news is the guy who broke the world record for the fastest marathon in the Chicago Marathon? He did it in under 2 hours.
Oh yeah.
His name was Calvin Kiptum.
Fine. Okay.
He died today.
Oh.
In a car accident. That's my news that I'm sharing with you. Please don't do that. This is like actual serious news, and I have a feeling.
Why are you laughing then?
Because you're making.
I'm not doing it. I am just. This is what you wanted to bring today.
There's other news stories that are much more lighthearted. I'll go with the cheery one.
So you're
good news first.
The news you wanted to pair with is the first is the death, and then you're like, wait, I have some little cheery news that I can also talk about.
It was just like to offset the sad.
Let's see if it offsets. Tell me.
So
Okay, it's kind of worrying that you're laughing so much.
Okay, you know how Americans have like that stupid trend, like how stupid are Americans, and they're doing the Tide Pod challenge.
Okay.
I found out that's not just unique to America. Other countries do stupid shit too.
This is not cheery news.
Hold on.
This is still bad.
In Korea, they deep fry toothpicks, and it's like become a trend. Like they deep fry the toothpick and eat it because it expands and like turns into this like a little puffy edible thing that's not really edible because it has like dyes and colors in it. But I thought it was interesting that other countries also do stupid shit.
For 2 weeks, you're like, I'm gonna look at news stories. I'm gonna write this down to bring it to the podcast. And the 2 stories you picked was the marathon guy.
I thought that was a big one. I feel like people should know.
And Korean people are eating fried toothpicks.
It's one, you're educating yourself about current events. The second, you're deepening your understanding of world events. Americans aren't the only stupid people out there.
You know what's crazy?
It makes sense?
No, you know what's crazy?
What?
Tell me you wouldn't try a fried toothpick.
100% I would. What are you talking about?
You tell me you wouldn't try it.
It looks so good.
So you're tell me it's stupid?
It looks so good.
You're going to tell me it's stupid?
It is. You shouldn't eat it.
But you're going to.
You tell me you wouldn't try a Tide Pod?
No, I would not. See, that's you. Dude, we got to talk about this later, dude. That's an issue that we need to talk about.
It never appears on the podcast alone. R.I.P. to me.
Okay, let's take away all Tide Pods from this house. What are you going to talk about this week?
I'm going to talk about, one, updating my New Year's resolutions and my year of positivity and what I've done to try to make myself a little bit more positive.
Oh, update as in, not you're making changes to it, or
just how I'm actually going. So like we'll get into it, but I have like very broad general ideas. What the actual action steps are that I'm doing to implement it.
Okay, so in the beginning of the year when you talked about it, it's very general.
Yeah.
And then now you're like, I know in depth what I'm supposed to do and what I'm going to do. You're going to talk about that.
In depth? Absolutely not.
I forgot that you don't really like going in depth into things. Well, I'm going to talk about more of our podcast because last week we talked about audio and what I learned, what we've been doing wrong this whole time, like microphones being backwards. And I was like, what else are we doing poorly?
Turns out
there's a lot
There's a lot
more. So I learned more of video aspect stuff because we're also doing video for this podcast. And boy, are we doing everything wrong.
I want to save me a 2-minute slot in the podcast segment. Because there is something that I noticed about podcasts that I want to talk about.
Okay.
But
if you know a spot where you're like, this relates to it, just cut me off.
I think early on would be perfect. Like early on, it's more of like a conceptual thing, not a actual like lighting and camera angles and stuff like that. So I think early on we'll talk about conceptual stuff, and then we'll get into the nitty gritty.
All right, nitty gritty.
All right. So, as you know, I'm trying to improve my mindset and be a little bit more positive. It's for me a year of understanding and a year of positivity.
Haven't been doing great though, but fine.
That's what I'm working on. That's what I'm noticing. I'm not doing great.
Are you sarcastic right now? You seem like you're hurt when
I'm
you said
so hurt. all of January, I'm just like, where is this year of understanding? Like, why am I not studying?
Name me 2 moments that you failed of your year of positivity.
The start of this podcast.
No, jokes aside. Because obviously it's entertaining.
Yeah. No, so like one of the things that I told myself that I would do more that I for sure am failing on, is not talking as much. What I want to do, no, seriously, what I want to do in conversations, right, is like, let's say we're having the Super Bowl party or stuff like that.
Okay.
I have this innate, like, craving, want, whatever. I have to be the entertainer. I have to be the person that is like making sure everyone's like having a good time. I'll make jokes. I'll make myself like the center of like targeting stuff like that to make sure everybody else
like.
Did I say like
5 times?
You're the worst
in the sentence.
Okay, to make other people feel good.
Okay.
Now, when I started off the year, I wanted to talk less. I wanted to be able to go into a room, feel comfortable in silence.
Question.
Okay.
Sorry to cut you off, but just to really understand you psychologically, because you're aware that
I'm hyper aware.
You're so aware that you do this.
Aware. Yep.
You're aware, like, I have to be the entertainer, so I'm gonna say so. Isn't there no part of, since you're aware that you think of, I want to be entertainer, I'm gonna say something, and then you go, maybe not.
So here's the thing, though, right? I have done that. You haven't heard the times.
Oh.
You haven't heard the times where I've chose to be quiet.
I didn't know you've been doing it.
There were lots of them, and that says something. That's crazy.
Hey, that's not bad.
There's one dude, Antley, I think.
Oh, okay.
Do you know who that person is?
Nope.
He's an NBA Hall of Famer.
Oh, I was gonna say he was like that rich guy who has a bunch of women around him.
He is really rich.
Oh.
He played in the 70s in the Hall of Fame. He was,
Nothing.
Oh,
it's for me in the audience.
Dang it. Whatever. I'll be the butt of another joke. This goes viral. But Adrian was a Hall of Famer, and he's from the 70s. He also coached on, I think, the Nuggets when Carmelo was there.
Okay. Oh, not head coach.
No, he wasn't a head coach.
Carl.
No,
okay.
he was just like either a shooting coach or something like that.
Okay.
And Carmelo would talk to him, and he would ask him like where you living, like just having conversations.
Okay.
He would tell him, yeah, I got 5 houses here, 2 houses there, blah blah. He's like, dude, you played in the 70s. Like, how you got this money? And he said, I never spent any of it. I invested it. I did the right things. I had that mindset. In the area where he lives, he works as a crossing guard. And the news story broke out.
Isn't that a volunteer job?
Yes. And when the news story broke out, it was that he was poor, that he had like lost all his earnings from the NBA, that like there was perception that he like basically made every mistake, and that's why he's working as a crossing guard.
Okay.
People would buy him like, hey, aren't you famous? He'd be like, no, sir, I'm just a regular man, I'm just working as a crossing guard. And I just love that mentality that he's so well off, he's so wealthy, he's very confident in himself. He doesn't have that ego, where he cares what other people think of him, what news stories are coming out.
How old is he?
He's in his 70s now, I think.
That seems about right. I feel like with the older you get to that mind.
I don't see no 70-year-old billionaires working on crossing guard stuff.
No, there's certain people that money drives them, and it looks like even from the get-go, money didn't drive him.
It wasn't just like not driving. It's the way that he handles himself is what I want to emulate. Okay. One, I use the word emulate properly. Like, props to me.
Hey, you know what? My hat off to you, man.
That's positivity. We're trying to be more positive.
You know what? I'm proud of you.
But I'm not gonna say obsessed, but I do care a lot about people's impressions.
Okay.
And I see
Want to hear my Trump one?
What's up?
Want to hear my Trump?
Your Trump impression? Oh no, we already did that once. It didn't go well. Did not go well. I got the proof. We finally have like test material to see what works. If you want to go check out that video, it's linked.
Okay, so you really care about people's impressions, and that's why you I feel like you're fighting against yourself because at one point you do want to be the entertainer, and that comes out of you because that's a positive still. You're entertaining people. That's an impression. But then you don't want to come off as too much, too like talkative and not respectful. And so that's also a negative side of it.
I think one of the issues that I have, and this is the issues that I have with being positive, is that it's okay to entertain people. If I was having a good time, just like messing with everybody.
Okay.
And I think we've talked about this before, but I entertain people by self-deprecation.
You poop yourself?
I literally just had an image of me just like pooping in the living room while hosting people.
It's like, not again, George. It's not funny.
This is my territory. This is how I show you this is my place.
Yes.
So funny.
Yes, you do. And do you want to stop that about yourself?
I think I want to stop that about myself.
I think you should stop that about yourself.
But it's really hard because everyone knows that I can take a joke.
What do you mean? It's hard for you to stop because people know that you can take a joke?
It's fun. Let's be real. It's fun to like have that one person that you kind of just like roasting. Like
wait. Self-deprecation is different than taking a joke.
What do you mean?
Your first immediate reaction, say someone's making fun of you.
Yep.
And so you're saying you're taking a joke well. The reaction doesn't always have to be self-deprecation.
I go with the joke. I roll with it.
Yeah, see that's
you got to build the ball. Like it's just got to keep rolling into.
No, but you can have you can roast them back, or I don't know. You don't have to lean into it.
You know, here's another problem I have. When I roast someone back, I get way too personal, and it's not a joke. I don't know how to.
It's still a response, though. Even a bad roast, you make that into the joke.
Oh, I get so uncomfortable.
You do it all the time. You roast, but it falls flat. But that falling flat is still funny.
Sometimes.
But I feel like you do lean into the self-deprecation. You go further than what the roast was.
So, I agree.
Which is bad.
There is someone who takes, I would say honestly, a negative image. And he takes that negative image and he makes it such a positive thing, and he goes with like,
ooh.
And you're not gonna agree with me. You're actually gonna hate this. I'm pretty sure.
Let's put it out there.
Jake Paul.
Yeah.
I recently watched an interview with Jake Paul and George Janko.
You think he takes his negative image and he spins it, or he takes it very well?
Not only takes it well,
produces positivity from it.
Yes, 100% yes. This man has put out so much content about wanting to like promote boxing. He wants to help tons of people. He wants like, don't get me wrong, he has a bad boy personification.
Yes, I'll let you finish and then I'll say something.
But he's done so much work on himself to become a more calm-minded, like level-headed human being, and he's so positive now. I don't know if you like, when was the last time you watched like an interview with him, or like, how he like conducts himself?
Whenever he fights, maybe it's the only time I ever see.
Which is entertaining as heck.
Yeah, but just for me personally, look, I'm going to preface this with saying I don't know him.
I can't wait till we have him on the podcast. I can't. Jake Paul, if you're listening to
next week. I don't know him, so when I make these statements, it's just an outsider's perspective.
I mean, we both are.
Right? And so he could be an amazing man, for sure. I'm only making these statements based off of what I've seen. And if I can't be in the business of, yes, you're trying to like build up a fight.
Yes.
But the fake beef or aggressiveness just to build up tickets and stuff like that, or the bad boy persona, so you get more fans and more. It's a strategy for sure, but it's just that's not for me morally. Like, if boxing is a sport, you don't have to do all that.
I think it does.
But that's just me. Like, obviously it works because everyone does it.
Yes.
No matter what fighting sport it is, you build it up. But I don't know.
I think he does a great job. I think not just like in his boxing life, because I've watched tons of his interviews.
Okay.
Especially this one with like George Janko. I don't know if you've seen some of his content. He's like a very like Christian dude who wants to like get into like the heart and soul of every person. So like he puts that out there, and I love that. Again, everyone has this idea of him as
Jake or George.
Jake, sorry. As this person who's negative, toxic, whatever.
Yeah.
But when you get to know him, when you talk, when you have the conversation, and again, this is just from an outsider perspective. I don't know him. I would like to.
Would you say the same thing to Logan?
Nah.
Why?
I think he's toxic, dude.
Why?
I think he's toxic.
Why?
He kicked off my boy George.
I know. Like, why don't you kicked off my boy George? One of my own.
I like Logan. You're welcome on the podcast as well. We'll have you anytime.
I'd say they're cut from the same cloth. So if you think Jake is an amazing
I think they're still
guy
separate
like
people.
that, I think Logan is a smart businessman, just like Jake. But obviously, man, you can learn and grow, and I don't think they're horrible people.
I'm not gonna make this a Logan Paul and Jake Paul podcast. But impressions matter is what I want to get at.
True.
Even with George, there's someone that I was speaking with, and I was telling them that, give this podcast a listen. Like, and he touches on some spiritual stuff, blah blah blah. And I don't know if you remember this, but there was a time when George, Logan, and I think Mike, his name is, went to the UK and did people from the UK. I forgot the one of the KSI. What's the group the KSI is part of?
Oh, Sidemen.
And they did a collab, and they did.
Oh, they did the Tinder video.
Yeah, the Tinder video.
Yeah.
And in the video, most of the women that came on were porn stars or like OnlyFans girls or something along that line, because it just brought more content.
Okay.
And the person that I was speaking with was like, how can someone who was on that video, who was like doing pickup lines to OnlyFans, to porn stars, blah, 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 how can you take him seriously about what he says about spirituality or God or all that kind of stuff?
Okay.
Personally, I think he's very in tune with his spiritual life. No one's perfect. But again, it's that first impression. It's the idea that I see this person a particular way, and I'm so conscious of that myself. I'm so hyper aware of how other people might view the one thing that I do.
So yeah, let's connect it real quick, just to summarize.
Oh, thank God, because you do a better job.
No. I just want to be clear for me.
Yeah.
Also, and if it helps the audience, you've connected George Jankos. He's very in tune with his spirituality.
Yes. Because
he's done a adult content video, people will see that and be like, how can you be a man of God if you've done this video?
Not knowing the other stuff that he's done, or like
yes, they judge him just based on they don't even know anything else he does. Yeah. And so to relate it back to you, you're afraid that you do something similar along those lines in terms of what you say on this podcast, or
just in general
in life, what you do.
If you see me in life, a lot of times, especially if I'm like around a group of people, like I say some ridiculous things only around people.
Okay.
Once I'm outside and like in the public, I'm so terrified that the one thing that I say is going to be the lasting impression that person has of me. No matter how many great things I do, no matter how like
we've had this conversation before, George.
Have we?
We've had this conversation.
I'm obviously not learning.
I'm gonna say words. I'm gonna say words, and I hope it triggers a little bit of you. How can you put so much weight on someone else's perception of you if they're gonna define you by one action?
Unfortunately, while I do agree with you, I choose not to put weight on that what that person says, but that person's impression will forever have an impact.
Impact on you because you are letting it have an impact on you.
On society, like
no,
you hold on. You go to a job interview, right? They see something. They see something that we post on this podcast that's like one clip out of the thousands, and I mean thousands, of deep, meaningful content that we produce for our fans. Our 3 fans.
Then you are putting too much weight on that one person who's judging you off, again, one action.
I just think it has repercussions, which is what the repercussions.
I feel like if you go out for a job interview, 10 out of 10, say all job interviewers watched your podcast, 10 out of 10 people aren't going to be like, wow, you're mess. I'm not hiring you just because of this podcast.
I disagree.
Some people are going to like, I don't want anything to do with you. And some people are going to find it funny. It's not going to be a big deal.
That's a tough one for me.
And so you can't just assume that everything you do in life is going to have this negative repercussion, because that's not a way to live.
Maybe, but that's how I'm living. It's called anxiety.
Man.
What if the one person, right?
No.
What if 99% of employers who see this look at it and go, oh, it's funny. Like, not a big deal.
Okay.
But the one guy who doesn't like it,
yeah,
that's my dream job.
Not meant for you then.
Oh, no, that's my dream job. It's
that's what you perceive as your dream job.
So how do I break down? How do I break down?
Period. Question mark. How do you break down? You need to accept. I keep adjusting my mic. I apologize. People, you need to not have so much weight on people's opinions, because people's opinions are fickle. Say that one person that you're like, that interviewer is like, I watched that and wow, I didn't like that person ever. Can I sit down and have a conversation with you and immediately change their mind?
And that's one.
Or they can think about it and they can go over to someone else who has a different opinion. That different opinion will be in their mind now, and they're like, oh, maybe I was looking at it differently.
I think I want to talk about that for the next podcast. I'm going to literally have an entire topic, and I'm going to research it on how I think that people have shut down on having open conversation, where I can talk to you about your religion, your politics.
I'm going to disagree with you.
I'm
going to disagree with you.
Then I definitely want to have this to be a topic, because that's
crazy. We can talk about it. We can talk about it right now. I think what people see in society now, more commonly, these loud or like people who aren't willing to have a conversation, you see that's in your face.
Yes.
People who are willing aren't recording a video. We're not trying to like create content.
What I'm saying that now in society, as a whole, people don't talk. People don't engage. People stay.
No. You're only watching people who are in such discourse or just like they hate each other, because that will actually get clicks. There's no title on YouTube that says, two wholesome people have healthy arguments, and then people are like, yeah, let's click on this.
Oh my God, that's so nice.
Yeah, that was very healthy.
I watched the Jake Paul, George Janko podcast, and it was very wholesome.
That's different. I mean, that's a specific podcast and the brand of how that interview gets organized.
I'm with you, but I wasn't even bringing up content at all. I was saying in my everyday life, when I go out on the street, I don't feel comfortable speaking to anybody about their religion, their race, their ethnicity, their
what?
Ethnicity.
What's that? Ethnicity.
I was trying to think of a joke.
No. You've put that in your mind already. You haven't even have you had a situation where you actually went down and talked to a stranger about any of those things and they shut you down immediately?
I want to say, yeah, I have in college, and like that's where like the start of the downfall began. And I was just like, okay, like if you're going to take what I say, like my curiosity, something I'm genuinely like want to know more about you, and you're taking that as me offending you or me being like derogatory towards you, then like I'm just not gonna like mess with you.
I have a thing where you need to keep in mind, especially we know this because we're in very serious relationships. Love you, Monica. Sometimes what we do, and I do this too. I can't even just blame my mother. I do this too. And then jobs in the world, the negative things are the only thing that's in your face. That your only thing you're gonna notice is that you're saying that, yeah, I did that one time in college where I tried to talk to someone about like a serious conversation, and they were like, "No, I don't want to talk about this." Shut me down. So it set a precedent for the rest of your life. But you can't even remember the time where you had a positive interaction and someone did share that, because that doesn't stick out into your mind. I promise you, since college, which is like 35 years.
I'm with you.
30. You've had many conversations with people who are willing to share their opinions in a healthy way.
I'll try to be more open to it. I'll give you an update down the road.
Okay.
I'm gonna wrap up this topic by just saying that, like,
I like this topic.
Me too. I mean, it's an honest
conversation. Wrap
up. No, I do want to wrap it up. But by saying that, like, for the remainder of the year, maybe we'll touch back on this like once every so often, just to see how much more positive I can get.
No, wait, you haven't outlined what you are going to do for the year of positivity. You just put it out there of your problems that you're going through.
So it's really funny that the last point that you said was this, because literally on my notes, I had it stop imprinting my impressions, how I'm viewing a situation on the situation, on people. It's a
good one.
Harder thing to do than it's a harder thing to do.
That's the whole idea of empathy.
Yeah,
is
no,
to
I
put
get it.
your impression aside.
I get it.
You know what I mean?
No, I get
okay.
It ain't easy.
I had
especially when people are wrong.
This guy, dude.
And that's not even a bit.
I know it's not a bit for you.
Not even a bit.
I know it's not a bit for you. I had this thought in my head. This is gonna be a little egotistical. I'm not gonna lie, because the bar was so good that I was like, I'm gonna keep this, and then when I get famous and someone interviews me, this is the line I'm gonna say.
Ego, 100% ego. When I get famous,
I'm just kidding.
I love it.
I
love it. Speak it into existence.
That's a joke. I don't want to be famous. I don't want to be famous.
That's the positivity I'm going for.
No. Here's a thing that I'm trying to implement in my life, and something I do want to put it out there and see if it actually makes sense to people.
Okay.
I think people, I'm talking to myself, I guess, be confident the things that they're doing and know this is like the right thing to do for you, but be humble enough to know that you can be wrong.
Yeah, people don't do that.
And so if I can't tell you what you should do with your life or what the right thing. I can tell you my personal experience, but I can't act as if I know objectively this is the right thing. So when I have conversations with people about religion or anything, I can't talk to you as if, I can't look down on you as if obviously I'm the right one. That gets nowhere. If I come to you, at least I'm confident in like, I believe this for sure, but I'm humble enough to be like, there's a chance I could be wrong. I'm not going to attack you.
Right. And this is kind of a bit, kind of not. This is why I want to be a personal trainer. So I can tell other people what to do. I'm like, I'm right.
That's not.
Listen to me.
At all a bit at all. You know that. You try to throw that in there to make you seem like you're a better person.
Yo, if you want a personal trainer, contact Joe. I do triathlons.
But I do guess that's a bit different because if my personal trainer was like, you could do this. I'm not paying you anymore, dude.
You're 400 pounds. Like, how do I lose it? Well, maybe you're right. Maybe.
But I think there's a balance to be had there to be confident in the choices you make and be like, I'm going to be okay if I'm right or wrong. But
that's a hard thing to accept. Is like accepting that, realizing that the other person themselves, they're thinking about, is it right or wrong? Like I have this, again, we put our own perceptions onto people.
Yeah.
But one thing that I just want to put out there is like, one thing that I learned is how you treat your physical body has 100% how you feel, like whether you're positive or negative.
I agree.
Because like once I eat junk food, if I don't get enough sleep, dude, I am such not positive person.
What word do you want to use there?
I'm such a not positive person.
I'll bleep it out. Go ahead, say it.
Not positive person. But I
agree.
I think doing those things and then working out. So I'm doing the bare minimum, which is working out, sleeping, and usually eating right, except for the cheat days. We all gotta have cheat days.
We all got cheat days.
But like once it's working on the next thing, which is not caring about another person's impressions. That's the part that.
Let me put a spin on it.
Ooh, I like spins. Wheel of Fortune. Let's go.
No, because say you're worried about other people's impression on you. Think of a time that you had a bad impression, or someone made a bad impression on you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you. I'm not trolling. You wasn't a great first impression.
Sure.
Okay, well, that's what I'm going with.
I think it's a bit different because we've been friends for so long.
Yeah, but I still remember my first impression.
Yeah, but okay, how long did that first impression last?
A while.
You didn't even see, like, no. You had a bad first impression of me. We didn't see each other for another like few months.
Yeah, months.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so from there to the next time you saw me, how often did you think of me?
No, but the next time I saw you, I treated you great.
Next time you saw me, sure. Even the next time you saw me, when you met me, you're like, get this dude away from me. Are people meeting, even if you bad impression, is it so bad the next time I'm like, I can't even look at you. I can't even be in the same room as you.
And that's, I think, the perception in my head is that's how far I see people going now.
Yeah, that's way too.
That's literally how I see people now.
That's extreme, man.
I don't think it's extreme. If you generally if you're on my side and you think that that's how people are nowadays, can you do something? Don't leave a like. Don't leave a like. No, because they're gonna think I'm baiting. No, dude, no, I'm not baiting.
When have you done that? When have you done that? When have you taken to the extreme?
I don't judge people. Other people judge.
Okay, so you're saying
yes
that you're better than other people.
I mean, obviously.
Jokes aside.
All right, jokes aside. No, I'm not better than other people.
You're just as normal as everyone else.
I am less judging than other people.
Here and there, I wouldn't say that.
I'm willing to accept that other ways of life are not. Here's the part that I think is different. I'm willing to accept that other ways of life aren't just tolerable. I'm not gonna just tolerate you even though I think you're different. I want to know more. I want to see why it's different. I want to understand who you are. That's something that I do personally. I think most people, I'm not gonna say most people. I think there's a common trend right now that once I've realized that there's a thing about you that I'm just not vibing with,
I'm writing you off.
I'm just closing
immediately.
The door. I'm closing the door.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna be rude to you. I'm not gonna disrespect you. I'm just closing the door. You're over there. I'm over here. Let's just go about our ways.
I think that's due to how horrible news is and how horrible you see people arguing on the internet. That's not the world.
I agree with that.
That's not the world, dude.
I think it's all
everyday life. The internet is not a real place. The internet's not a real place.
Where is this getting uploaded?
No, I'm saying people talk like that on the internet. Most of the time, won't talk to me like that in real life.
All right, I'm gonna start keeping tabs of every person that I come across who's toxic.
Sure, but if I'm walking around the world and I have a thought, opinion, people disagree with me, and you write me off, how long are you holding that thought in?
I don't know.
Because two things happen. Oh, two thoughts I have. One, I don't think that thought lasts with that person, and it's gonna take it to the extreme where I'm gonna write you. I define you already immediately, and you're just a negative person for the rest of your life. You can't change. I think it's a very pessimistic view.
I'll say this: if you stuck around to this long of the podcast, please tell me your thoughts on it, because I want to know who I. Right, you're saying this is my perception. You're giving me your perception.
Yeah.
I want to know what other people. What the vote would be.
I want to see, man, if it is vote towards you, I think it is sad. It is sad in the way that people will view us, society, as that.
That's
when you know why I have this perception?
Why?
Is because this is gonna get deep. This is a fortune. You can make fun of me all you want, whatever. I see myself in society. And okay. I think everyone else out in the world is literally just going through the same thing that I'm going through. And so if I'm capable of doing this, I know they're trying to figure out their way in balancing themselves. And there's no way people take the extreme serial killers and all those old people away. Normal 95% of the world like us.
This is why we have no old viewers.
Are just nice. They're trying to respect people and they won't write me off immediately. And if they do, there's a certain point where they can have a conversation with me at least and have an open discussion whether or not their opinion is valid.
I like it. I mean, I like it.
Isn't that sad to think that most society...
I think that's how most society is living, as I'm not going to share what I think because I think that it's just going to cause controversy and people are going to cause issues. I genuinely believe that. if there's
Say what you want to think. You said it's going to cause controversy. What's controversial about your thought?
About my thought?
You said I don't want to say what I want to say because it's a controversial.
I mean, like again, you related back to what you see on television, what you see on the news, what you see on TikTok, anything that has to do with anything controversial, whether you're talking about politics, or your religion. Dude, there's a whole stigma around. If I say that I'm Christian, people have all these like preconceived notions.
Oh, there we go.
I said it.
Dang. I was really hoping you'd mess that
literally,
up.
I know this is gonna be a clip, but how many misspeakings am I gonna do?
I have an idea.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna make it.
Oh great.
No. I think here's my thought, and no information is brought to me that makes me think the statistic is real, whatever.
Okay.
Right? But this is just an optimistic thought. Everything that you see negative on the internet of interactions between people who hate each other, right, is about, I'm gonna say 5% of what normal, like the rest of the world interacts like.
I want to say it's closer to like 40, bro.
40?
40.
You think 40% people are arguing like they are on the internet?
They would if they were put in that position. I think most people are non-confrontational and like they'll avoid it. But if you bring it up, they'll be like, "No, you're a bad person. You're Christian." Ew.
I have to believe that we're better. Because if I don't believe that, then I just don't believe that I'm capable of becoming better.
Well, and that's why I'm trying to be more positive, Justin. That's why I'm trying to be more positive.
I see where we got from.
Yep.
Well, next week we're gonna update on what?
Next week I'm going to talk about a topic.
Got it. Okay, that's a good transition. Well, speaking of topics, look at that one.
That was good.
I have a topic.
You're transitioning?
My topic is
Isn't that? I was gonna make a bad joke.
What are you gonna say?
Huh? So you're transitioning? Isn't that one of the controversial topics? Yeah. So when I get canceled, anyway.
Yeah, put that one on TikTok. See if that one.
Oh yeah, we got canceled on TikTok twice. Both from you. That's the best part. Both of our videos. That's fine.
I think it's hilarious.
Me too.
To be honest.
Come watch controversial podcasters.
Fight for the joke, guys. Comedy.
Controversial podcasters. You'll clip this so I can put it up on TikTok.
Anyways, my topic is kind of righting everything that we're doing wrong.
Well, before. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, what are you gonna say before? Just interrupt me in the middle of my sentence.
You've been doing it the entire time.
Okay.
So before we.
Anyways, what I was saying was, my topic is all about videos and lighting, guys. If you ever want to start, did you want to say something?
I know I've been around you too much. I know how this goes.
Did you want to say something?
Yep. Can I speak?
Yeah.
All right. So what I want to say is interruption. No. Okay. I've been watching tons of podcasts. I hate the way you're looking at me right now. So ugly. I've been watching a lot of podcasts and a lot of it's always two dudes, and there's always one dude who's just a little bit dumber than the other guy. Literally off the cuff, I can name you.
You can name me three.
Three easy.
Give me
off the
three
cuff.
That are like so they're
unknown,
not, or where
like,
did you find these?
They're
people?
not unknown, but they're like still in the lower, like 1.2 mil. Like they're in the mills.
Oh, that's a lot.
That's decent.
That's a lot. I don't know.
That's a lot. They're doing well for themselves. Like this is their career.
Okay,
they're in
three.
The mills.
Name me three.
I don't know any of their names. That's how low like they are to me. But it's like some dudes. There's two dudes that do like sports stuff. One is tall, has like weird eyes, and they just do like.
You know what's great?
What?
I need you to tell me what these podcasts are, so when you're describing them, I actually put the picture of them.
I'm down. They got weird eyes.
Okay, weird eyes.
And they do like funny content that's like, name me your top five stats that you'd want to know when you die. Like how many points you've scored in basketball your entire life.
Oh,
like the stats. It was a good one. It's like how many beers have I drank my entire life?
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
I was like, all right, that's cool. Like, and again, there's one slightly dumber guy. Then there's
that's one.
Guy. That's one. Two was the one that I brought up to you before, where it's for sure a bit, and they over exaggerate being dumb. It's one black dude who plays being dumb, then the white guy who's like his best friend, and he tries to correct him on a constant basis and their content.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
So
that's the cereal guy.
Yeah, the cereal one.
He went viral.
Yeah.
He was talking about, I forgot what it was.
See?
But
you don't know the names either.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay. Third, the Joe Rogan podcast.
Well, there goes our guest.
No, the two.
There goes. We're never hopping on that podcast.
We're joking. Please come on our podcast. The two dudes who are, I believe, they're from the UK. They're two black dudes who just like have hilarious content about like. I think one of the clips that went viral that like made him super famous was like Nigerian. I haven't done it in a while. Be quiet.
We could watch it back.
Oh no, the clicker just keeps going up. But one of the clips that went viral was Nigerian people are poetic, and like they start reading off like I said ways that they're poetic. Instead of saying someone is dumb, right? They'll say wisdom is chasing you, but you're faster.
I kind of want to watch this podcast.
It's a good podcast. Honestly, it's lit. But I found that it's like how we just fell into the trend of two guys on a podcast.
I don't know.
One being the dumber one. Huh?
This is just natural.
Yeah, there's always one dumb friend.
There wasn't no trend, George. We didn't know no trend.
We started the trend. But I just want to put that out there.
Oh, no, there's another. No, speaking of like a dumb one and a smart one, there's that Idiots the Expert podcast.
I heard that one's good.
That one's really good. That guy's not faking it either.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's faking it. I think it's real.
It's fake.
I think it's real. And like the thirst to want to be famous.
Yeah, that one's crazy.
I'm definitely subscribing to his channel.
Yeah, and how he keeps self-deprecating, even though he just said in an episode he wants to stop self-deprecating.
I hear he's really smart.
Yeah,
and his Asian friend is the one that's dumb, and people call him black on the comments for some reason.
Compliment, I guess.
But anyway, like, comment, subscribe on that YouTube channel, whatever it is.
Anyways, I want to talk about how shitty our podcast is. Good transition. Two things. Last
I accept you. What are your pronouns?
Last week we talked about audio and how
we just
really
fixed
bad.
Our microphones to be facing the right way.
Yeah,
yes,
we're figuring it out. But I forgot to note two things. So what I learned about microphones, little foam above
popper.
the mic, and a lot of people have like these attached things that
I hate those.
Like a grid on it. Those are called pop filters, and pop filters reduce air that gets picked up from the mic. Like Kiro, our good friend of ours, should really invest into a pop filter.
If you ever play video games with a guy, you know. Because you're probably the 5 people watching this right now.
So this is actually good for us if you're using any words that have a P or anything that like produces a lot of air. If you're using those words, a lot of air gets picked up from the mic, and then like the noise pops. Pop filter.
So weird that a piece of mesh can just like break off the sound. I guess I don't know.
No, don't you know the sound absorptions? They're just foam.
I know, but it's not like a piece of mesh that's just standing right here. You know what I'm saying? Like I understand that like bouncing off the walls, it can absorb the audio, the sound waves, whatever. But the fact that like a piece of mesh that's this far away, I just feel like it goes through.
We're not science. Yeah, we're not science.
We're trying to be. This is science. All right. Sound waves travel at the velocity of.
Okay. Anyways, let's not embarrass ourselves even more. But anyways, and then another thing was, if you ever see microphones that have like this, it looks like a gray fur. You ever see those?
Yes, I actually know what you're talking about.
Those are for wind filters. That actually protects the mic from like high wind. So people, if you're recording outside,
aren't those usually used for like movies, like when you have like the hanging microphone,
the boom mics? Yeah. Okay. You'll see that gray fur. That's to just protect the mic from wind. So that was pretty cool. But anyways,
tell me more. Tell me how I'm doing things wrong on this podcast.
So sound blanket. We need a sound blanket.
Easy.
If anyone's looking to do a podcast, the cheapest I think I looked at was a sound blanket or you don't even have to buy the sound blanket. You need to grab your bed covers and hang it somehow over a stand behind you or towards where you're speaking. They're grabbed all the sound.
You know what I thought of right now is that instead of having blank backgrounds like we've been doing forever, we've changed it up and done this. What we should have done is just it was just literally a mess of just this office. Sorry, our studio.
Yeah, studio. What do you mean?
We could just get some of the bed blankets or whatever from the studio and just use that as a background.
I don't know if I want to smell your.
Now we know why I can't be positive.
No, I thought it'd be cool to have sound blanket was like $50.
Yeah,
it wasn't crazy. But I think we're gonna invest in those to make our audio sound.
I'm down.
All right, sick. Now moving on.
Actually, hold on. I know that you're going to pay for all of it because I'm saving money. Okay, so that's why.
Interesting. Where did you hear that from?
I'm lying. I'm lying so that my girlfriend doesn't find out.
You gotta edit
You just cut it out. Just cut. Editor.
Okay. What else did you want to cut out that you said about your girlfriend?
Yeah. So anyway, she's.
What'd you say about her earlier?
Yeah, I'm not getting it. I'm not falling for this trap.
What do you mean?
You're the editor.
I just need to know so then I know how to cut it out.
Yeah, I'm not listening.
Anyway, so moving on from sound, now I learned video, right? And I watched so many videos of like people who do podcasts. They broke down their equipment setup and blah, blah. A lot of people were like, yeah, you can save on your budget. Get this camera and then drop the camera in the link.
Yeah.
And it was like $1,700. That's like the lowest.
Saving money.
Just the camera. And it was like, also, you got to get these lens. It was like $1,000. Right? And then upwards to, I saw cameras that were $5,000, lenses that were $3,000. And these are all videos titled budget for people who want to start on YouTube or make videos of podcasts and all this stuff.
We're doing it essentially at this point for free.
No, wait for it. So I looked at all that. And then there's finally one guy who was like, if you really want to save money, you take your damn phone and you put it in front of you. iPhones and Androids nowadays have really nice cameras. And if you don't have discretionary income, don't buy a $3,000 camera.
We don't, guys.
And so that's what we're doing. We're going to be recording on these iPhones.
If you want to sponsor our podcast, we can get you
what?
5 views. So
yeah, we'll make that much money. What's a few cents per view?
We're charging $5 million for a 30-second ad. We're better than the Super Bowl.
Anyways, from the video, here's where I think we are definitely failing at. Is lighting.
I agree.
You can use iPhone and then spend money. They said like $500.
$500 on lights?
It's like that's so cheap though. I saw a bunch of people's equipment set up. They're doing like $700 to $1,000
for lights.
Yeah.
Why don't we just film outside?
Here's the thing. I'll get to it.
Oh boy, I was joking.
I'll get to it. So we have been doing lighting poorly. We've been doing awful video, and then we've had one light for the both of us this whole time. So I did some research and I learned a couple things. So
what'd you learn, Justin? Share with me.
Most professional podcasts have like 10 different lighting things.
Yeah.
Not doing that.
Oh, can't afford that.
They had 10.
I'm not doing that. It's can't afford that.
No, but I'm not kidding. 10 different lighting equipment.
Dude, I saw a video where they had 3 and I thought that was too much.
So I looked at some videos and the budget for like important lights, you only need 3.
Yeah.
And honestly, you could just do with 2.
Yeah.
And if you're really broke, like us, we could do 1.
That's why our quality is better than all the other podcasts.
Anyway, so the main thing, if you hear any of these lighting terms, is a key light. A key light is what's going to light up the main subject.
Yeah.
Right? And so that is what you've bought.
Which is what we were trying to do.
That honestly is going to be my second subject I'm going to talk about.
Okay.
Because of what you bought.
The limelight.
No, because the key light's going to be a strong light.
That was a great.
Oh. I'm just so used to you not doing good jokes.
A limelight.
Did I keep a what?
The limelight?
Yeah.
Like that's a play on words.
For what?
Like it's a double entendre.
Explain it.
One, I'm saying like people want the limelight,
okay.
and we're talking about lighting.
Okay.
2, you said key light before. I'm saying key lime, like key lime pie.
Oh.
Dude, that was a double entendre that went over your head. For those of you who got it, you're experts. This has got quiet.
How funny was that? Let's think about that. Oh, okay. So, key light is supposed to be a strong light. This is not a strong light.
It's not. I thought it was not bad.
This is not a strong light.
Okay.
And when you turn, it's only on and off. There's no settings for it to go stronger or
we want weaker. The brightest light.
This is what you bought, George. It is called a soft box. So soft box. Explain to me what a hard box is.
You ever heard that SNL skit? Blank in a box.
What's the blank?
Hard in a box.
What's the blank? I don't know.
The hard part.
What's the hard?
The hard part in the box.
Explain that to me. I don't know.
I think.
No, I don't know what hard in the box.
We'll get banned off TikTok, so no, I can't explain it to you. We'll get banned off YouTube. We'll get banned on everything.
Oh, it's fine. So anyway, softbox. So you have your key light that lights up your main subject. Softbox is what you use to eliminate the shadows that are behind you.
I see right now, clearly.
So softbox, you would point it up to the ceiling to get rid of shadows. But the light's not that strong. That's why it's called a softbox. And you would get what you have right there is supposed to be a dome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then light kind of emits all different areas to really eliminate the shadows.
Yeah, they ain't doing that.
Oh, it's not.
Our lighting is.
But that's what you get for $40 light.
But we're transferring those savings onto you.
So. Yes. But here's what I learned. So a key light, if you're doing a 2-person podcast,
yeah,
each person should have a key light.
I would imagine if we're going to have 2 people, yes, you have 2 key lights. Unless we're that close together.
Instead of sharing one, each person should have their
that
own.
Close together? Like,
yes.
Yeah, if we're saving money, I'm down. We'll get a couch instead of chairs.
And then positioning, they usually said that the key light should be up and going down at a 45-degree angle towards the subject.
Okay.
But if it's a softbox and you're trying to eliminate shadows, it's up to the ceiling.
I said that.
You did say that.
I said that.
Okay. So I looked at softbox and I'm like, all right, well, or key lights, and the people who say we're going cheap,
$100.
You can buy a key light for $170.
$170. Elgato has one for cheaper.
I didn't do any more research.
Elgato sponsor us. I got you.
I just went to
affiliate link. Not associated at the moment.
I just went and saw what the recommended.
Yeah.
I didn't actually go. All right, let's compare a bunch of different ones. So this one was 170. I was like, oh, okay,
not bad.
Then you have the softbox. And the softbox, guess how much that cost? Just to eliminate shadows.
I know a good one is probably going to be like, I'll say $200.
$65. So your key light is way more important than your softbox.
More expensive, not more important.
Key light's more important.
The cheaper one sounds better to me, is all I'm saying.
Because the softbox only eliminates the shadows, right? Then they recommended that you have studio lights.
Oh, dang it, that's not what I was thinking.
Oh. Those are the 3 main lights that they recommended. Was key light, softbox, studio lights. So the key light in the softbox will make us lit up.
Yeah.
And then what makes it your scene better is to have your background lit up. That's what this closet light's supposed to be doing.
There's Pokemon cards back there, people. Just putting that out there. Like, we went all out for.
And there's this cool light that they. And I think it was around like $250. But it was so cool because when she was using it, you can change any color of the lighting in the background app. If you want a specific color, you can actually take your camera and you can point at the color and the light will just change into that. I was like, oh, we can do our logo and we can choose the blue, yellow.
My least favorite part about this conversation, the entire time in my head, I just hear my girlfriend saying, oh, so y'all spending money now. Oh, you're spending money.
We have to edit this out.
Really? It's for entertainment
It's all
purposes.
positivity. You love,
positivity,
you love your girlfriend. You love,
yeah.
you love her. You love her.
I just literally the entire time I just imagine my girlfriend going, "I support you.
There we
You're
go.
killing it. Keep going, Georgie boy."
The fact that your girlfriend calls you Georgie boy is crazy.
If she ever called me Georgie boy, I don't know.
Hey man, that's your relationship. Whatever works for you guys. I definitely don't want that. But anyway,
We'll have good lighting for them.
so I think later on, when we get some money, we can invest in any of those lights. The last one was an extra light, they said, which was a hair light, which is like a really small light. It's like this big.
Okay.
And you place it right above you because there's certain ways to shine on your top of your head and shoulders to make you more natural, I guess. Because everything's lit up and then the top of your head is like dark. It looks weird.
When I researched this, the one thing that when they said the 3 different kinds of lighting that you should do, one of them, especially for podcasts, they said like to do some kind of background light. So I light that's
Studio lights.
Is that what a studio light is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't know what it was called. I didn't know where a studio light would be positioned.
Yeah. It's to light up
the back,
to highlight things in the background.
Okay, so that's what a studio light is. All right, cool.
But yeah, so all those lights, but we are broke. So what I figured out was if you are broke and you can't afford any of these lights,
open a window.
Can use is you open a damn window. So that's what I've done today, and we don't look as bad as a previous episode.
Wait until you edit this video and you just see the light gradually diminish because clouds are coming up.
So we really have to time these episodes to really utilize our light source.
Or what we really need to do is link our Patreon down below.
Please.
And if you want to support this podcast, I don't know why you would.
No, because we are going to be great and we are hilarious.
So if you want to support Justin and being funny,
anyway,
check out the Patreon down below.
We don't deal with pessimism over here, right? We're both amazing, we're both great, and we're both hilarious on this podcast. So to finish up, because I'm tired of hearing you being so depressed and sad, and I don't want none of that in my aura.
I want you to be happy for me, not for you. You're depressing. Yeah. You're Eeyore. Please go away.
Why does everything have to be Trump-like cadence?
It's who I am.
Anyway,
just my voice.
So they noted that you need depth in your background. That's why going against our flat wall was really boring. Or if people have shelves or anything that come out.
I would love to put shelves, like actually hang. Like,
yeah,
my
you have
figures.
depth in your background, so it makes it more interesting, right? So that's why I'm in this closet, and that's why you are against your desk.
You're transitioning. You're in the closet.
But you can see stuff in my. It's not the greatest, but I think your scene.
It's pretty nice, actually.
No, it looks really nice. My scene's pretty trash because. It's all your garbage.
What are you talking about, bro? That's my Pokemon card collection. Don't be talking smack about my Pokemon cards.
But anyway,
I don't have Pokemon cards. I'm an adult.
Sure. I'll put it up right now. Dude. We're good. They recommend shooting in a corner because a corner will make it look like you have depth. Versus a flat wall, you don't know how far sometimes. Yeah. But I've seen people do flat walls. They just have shelves. Other things to make plants and other things to make it look better.
One thing that I think would actually make me feel more comfortable, and we've talked about this before in previous episodes, is getting a desk for both of us to like an L shape, like this L-shaped desk. If we had that reverse where we're both kind of like behind it, I had multiple camera angles and had the lighting, stuff like that. I think that would be sick. And we already have the equipment for it. We just have to have the room for it.
And money to buy
and money,
because the L desk sounds like it's
and abilities and skills expensive. To be able to.
But I think we're gonna make what we have now.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be fine. Yeah, I think this setup right now is way better than what we had before.
We're learning a lot.
Yeah.
We've come a long way, honestly, from the first episode, from not even knowing that, I accidentally hit stream instead of hit record. And losing.
That wasn't in the beginning, bro. Don't lie to these people.
Justin, stop. We have to look like we're growing. You're doing this wrong on the
That was like 2 months ago.
You're doing this wrong on the podcast.
Oh, okay, my bad.
We're supposed to show growth.
Oh yeah, yes and.
So yes and.
Yes and.
So I think we've come a long way.
Yes.
I think that out of, you know, when we were in our humble beginnings with the $100 VHS looking thing, right?
Our what was it, 4K camera
our 4K
that we were using?
camera that never recorded in 4K. You know, we're doing good.
Yeah.
If you want to support us, if you want to try to make us feel better about what we're doing, just leave a. Huh? Yeah. I'm doing it. Don't worry. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe if you want to support us. Hope you learned something today. If you didn't, hope you laughed. We'll catch you on the next one.
We look like superheroes. In the camera, we just.
Bro, I look swole.
Captain Planet.
Yo, I look swole.